But let me share that when we first founded Ocean Champions, it surprised us how many Surfrider members were the first from the ocean community to be writing checks to us. And when I thought about it and got to know Surfrider a little better, it made perfect sense. Again, local activists, they understand what pushes the right buttons. They'd been going to local fundraisers. They knew politicians. They needed to do certain things to have relationships. Of course, they were going to write checks to us that we could then give to politicians. So that's the sophistication that we're trying to get. Let me share a couple of quick anecdotes on where you don't need necessarily grassroots. I'm not going to name the state or the senator, might be embarrassing. Major state, over 10 million people live there, maybe even over 20 million. Every Monday, the senator comes in and he says, tell me the top 3 issues. The staff lists the top 3, and then he says, what am I doing about it? We were told we needed to generate some phone calls to get on that top 3 list. We got on that top 3 list. Guess how many phone calls it required? 20 million people in the state. 15. 15. The senator comes in, asks the top 3. We're one of the top 3. He goes, what am I doing about it? And the staffer says, funny you should ask, Senator. You've written a bill. And we're ready to introduce it with Senator so-and-so. That was the harmful algal bloom bill getting introduced in the Senate by those 2. That's when you don't need grassroots. That's the type of example where that could have, you don't need to expend the energy. Not that it would have been harmful. When we needed to get the harmful algal bloom bill passed in the House, we had it passed in the Senate. All that mattered in the House, the chairman of the Science Committee, a Republican, climate denier, bad environmentalist. We wanted no Democratic co-sponsors on the bill. We wanted no noise, no nothing. We had our one Democratic champion work behind the scenes with our Republican champions from the Senate, quietly with this guy for a year, until he finally said, my committee will move the bill. We passed it unanimous consent. One guy, one chairman of a committee, that's all that mattered. Not 87 liberal Democrat, nothing else mattered. Grassroots would have killed it. Any noise, this guy would have run from that bill faster than you could have imagined. Now, where did Electoral and Issues come together? I mentioned Steve Sutherland, we beat Ocean Enemy. Guess who was behind that at home in Florida? Commercial fishermen. Red snapper collapsed in the Gulf of Mexico. They put a catch share program in place. It's a market-based program where the fishermen kind of get to control what's going on with the catch. These commercial fishermen bought into it, brought their fishery back, brought their industry back, and got rich, made good money. They came to us and said, this guy is terrible on oceans, terrible for us, terrible on conservation. Let's get rid of him. Commercial fishermen. They put up almost 100,000 of the $400,000 that we spent. Commercial fishermen to help environmentalists defeat that guy. Based on an issue, conservation of fish, their industry, coming together to electorally defeat their bad guy, our bad guy. Just a few examples of these things that do and can happen.